Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be ranking the head units. As you can see, S to D. S will be very good, A will be pretty good, B will be average this time, C will be weak, and D will be pretty bad, like just bad units. Unlike my last the head units ranking, this will be my newest ranking that I approve myself this time. So yeah. Let's start. First of all, Redneck. I think it's a pretty efficient, spammable unit, but it's relatively weak compared to other units. Therefore, I put in B tier, pretty average unit, but nowhere near bad. Next one is Empty Barrel. To me, I do think Empty Barrel has more usage compared to Redneck, but I don't really. I think it definitely gets replaced by other like droppables, like Medkit, Red Barrel, Nitrogen, those kind of stuff. I do think this thing gets replaced by others and stuff, using empty barrel. Therefore, I put in C tier. I don't think it's that good. Farmer, weirdly, to me, is in the A tier. It's pretty strong actually. The shotgun is nowhere near bad, so it's not weak at all. The only weakness I see is the health proving very low, but that's expected from most range units. So yeah. Next one is Builder. Bullet resistance units. I think it's pretty good, but personally I do prefer other units that also have the bullet resistant perk. So therefore I put in A tier. Actually, I'll put in B tier. The thing is, I do think it's good, but it really just doesn't hold up to what it does after a while in the game, because there are better units that replace it. Next is Mechanic. Same as before, same as my last video, the Hyenas is also S tier. It's a very strong unit, especially the charging ability when you first spawn. It basically just deals with everything in the start, so I think it's a very good unit. A unit that I definitely think is very it's somehow very strong for even late game. So yeah, this is why Mechanic deserves to be S tier in my opinion. Next is Pepper. Opinions change. I think it's a B tier unit. Yes, it's very weak. Her gun is very weak. I would have put in C tier normally, or the weak tier normally. But her kick though, compared to unlike other range units, she can have melee defensive. This is the reason why I think she's not as bad as I think she was. She's still relatively weak compared to other range units, but I think she's no longer as useless to bad. Next is Medkit. After I try utilize using this more, it's a B tier. The healing, yes, is most of the time you probably just got missed it, but once you get the timing right, Medkit can be pretty useful, especially for doing with zombies that have poison when your unit doesn't have poison resistance. So yeah, I think Medkit is pretty good. But I do think it gets outshined by other droppables, which I'm gonna mention later. Chopper is still bad, but you know what? It's still gonna be the worst. In my opinion, it's still gonna be one of the worst units. The healing to me doesn't really hold up for what it does, since it needs to be at half of his health. So yeah, and not to mention it only heals 50%, which is not a lot at all. Not to mention that when he's healing, he didn't get damage. Well, it means he didn't get killed while healing himself. So it's yeah, I don't think it's good at all. But I do not think he's like a useless unit. I do think he still have use cases, but also when he dies, he spawns a rem. He becomes a rem, which is I won't say it's hard to deal with, but at the time when using chopper, it's probably pretty hard to deal with compared to other zombies. Yeah, I mean it's just annoying since if you use other units that I mentioned, it's probably just gonna be like a girl zombie runners or normal zombie or even tipsy zombies, but not a stupidly and not high health zombie. So yeah, this I think is D tier. It's nowhere near the worst unit though. For me, fire red barrel, or what I call it, fire barrel or explosion barrel. It's A tier. I don't think I don't think it's as overpowered as other units now. I still think there are no, I don't think there's any better alternatives compared to it. but I do find its weak cases, like some levels having raining, or some zombies just, most of zombies are in late game are just immune to fire, which means it's only good for its dropping power and explosion, which, let me just say something, is still very strong, but it's no longer as strong as I say it was. This is Firefighter. My opinion changed a lot. Yes, he's still one of the a very weak fighter, but his poison immunity makes him he deserves to be average. I don't think he's a good fighting unit, but for zombies that have for levels that have zombies like epidemiologists or slob, which have poison damage, like especially slob when it dies, which becomes very annoying most of the time, since if it even gets to your range units, then your range unit will die no matter how much medkits you use. So yeah, I think Firefighter is very important. So yeah. Next is Sheriff Charlotte. I like Charlotte, but for me, Sheriff Charlotte is always on the weird spot. Before I don't really like using her. I really like using her, but I do think she definitely gets so much weaker when there are other units, and the future units. Like her 30 blue thing just doesn't hold up anymore. Her courage is so, blue thing AK courage, it costs so much for what she does. I don't think it's worth it anymore. I think it was okay, but I just don't think she is as strong as before anymore. Like, her range is good, her damage is good, but just like the fact that if you get unlucky, or if you don't distract the slob enough, like she can still get poisoned, or just other zombies like the fast zombie can still kill her sometimes if yeah. So I just don't think she is really as strong as before anymore. Next one is Molotov Cocktail. To me, I still think it's one of the worst. I would put in D, but there is a use case for Molotov Cocktail. It's burning good corpse. If you guys didn't know, for what happens is to corpses that after their corpse, you burn it. If you burn it, you become a zombie. Unless it's the ones that immediately become zombies. But I'm not talking about those in this case. But I'm talking about the ones which are not. And for this one, it only costs 50 rage. It only costs 50 rage. 15 rage. Which is not a lot, but I just don't really see its use case anymore, as there are also fire immunity zombies. Then therefore I think the red barrel does a better job, because it also makes a fire pool, therefore it also burns corpse, just like the Molotov Cocktail. So yeah, that's why I think it's a bad tier in C. Next is Glenn. I've changed my opinion on Glenn also. I really hate, I don't know why it can't deal with slobs anymore, and therefore I think but it's still a C tier to me though. I just don't think he really is as strong. I don't think he's really that strong anymore. I still think he's a good unit, but like sometimes when you want to burn corpse, he's still there. You really should also burn him, and that'll be kind of annoying sometimes. But I still find him a very viable unit. It's just that I don't prefer using him compared to like Redneck and stuff like that. This is why I put him so low, but I still think he's a very good unit. This is Policeman Diaz. You know what? S tier. Really S tier. This melee resistance proves to be very useful for me. His shotgun, which is just another like spreading out shot, is insanely good also. Every time I use him, I'll be like, I'll pop the early game defense is probably gonna be fine. So yeah, I always found Policeman Diaz very useful. The only weakness I find is against zombies that have like bullet resistant armors. So yeah, at that time you probably have like maybe units like mechanic dealing with it. So I think it's a very good unit. For me, generator is B tier. I don't know why, I just don't really utilize it much, but I do see use case for it a lot. Is that definitely like if the level is like a long level and you can like play for a long time, by defending yourself, then you know what? I see generator being used. Not to mention, I'm pretty. I mean, when it breaks, it explodes. Therefore, also cutting damage. Therefore, it's like also defensive while producing stuff. So therefore, I think it's pretty useful, especially like what forward does. Grenadier for me is a S tier. Um, three of these units right now is some of my go-to units, and like Grenadier is one of them for a big reason. The grenade, some of the levels where like you cannot deal, there's a lot of zombies. Grenade deals with it. It's just insanely good how good it is. Not to mention he has this armor where it's basically bullet resistance. So for World 3 Maulers, you know what? Good luck dealing with this guy. He literally throws grenades and have bullet resistance. Nice, and I mean his melee is not bad at all. His buyback is insane. So yeah, Gunslinger to me is a C tier. I mean, if I'm only counting range units, then it would be a D tier. He's just relatively weak. Like he's basically a worse version of Carlos, which I know I adore Carlos, man. He's so good. So Gunslinger just weak. It's like a weak version of units that you can get. I don't think he's good. I still prefer units like Charlotte and Pepper over him. Yeah, so yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. People may use him a lot. People may say he's good, but to me, he's pretty useless. Next is nitrogen. It's hard to say for nitrogen. For me, I put it in D. I put it in D tier. I see why people like using it. I mean, I don't see why people really love using it, but I see why some people like using it. I don't use it for reasons because it also freezes your units. Therefore, for me, I don't really use range units much. If I have like melee units, I mean I do use it to support melee units, but like at the same time, I still want my melee units to do a lot of damage. Therefore, I think that like freezing your melee units will sometimes prove to be a little bit annoying. So yeah, if I play in D tier. Next one is Mr. Private. Private what Drigris. I don't really care, it's just his name. But Private Man, he's mostly he's like S tier good, but I'll put him A tier. For me, he's basically just above Redneck. He can deal with almost all zombies. Like it's insane. Like he basically kills every weak unit. I mean weak zombies, and for the strong zombies you can use other units like Mr. Ranchman, aka Mechanic here. So therefore I think he's a very good unit. Not to mention his DPS is relatively high for how much courage it costs. Man, 15 for damage is insane. Sniper Polina, I mean I think it's pretty similar to Charlotte, but except it's worse than Charlotte in my opinion. The problem is the chance that you can miss a shot, like the 5% missing is missing the shot is so annoying. Like don't get me wrong, and most of the time it won't miss, and therefore your game you will still win if if the left requires her. But the thing is, first of all, let me see something. Her high damage is not worth it because her reloading is slow and her health is slow and it costs 25 to even use her. And the missing, like the thing about missing a shot is that like I'm fine with missing a shot for like units like Cardinals, but because like they rapid fire, but like you're slow and basically if you miss a shot, she's basically dead. And like when she miss, then like the zombie basically gets through and like basically your other units to deal with it. And like she also becomes a zombie, which is I'm pretty sure it's actually I'm sure it's a girl. Yeah, it's a girl zombie, which is what I won't say is a hard zombie to deal with at all, but it's pretty annoying to deal with another zombie because she missed her shot. So yeah. Next one is Welder. To me, Welder is a D tier. I don't use him at all. He basically just goes for the barrier to buy, but like why do you even need him? Like melee units just also does the job fine. And he's basically like not defending. He's basically like John in Clash Royale. You need units to like support and cover him from death. It's just annoying. Like games like Clash Royale works because like your other range units can deal with the melee or other units, but in this game like yes you kinda can, but like Why would you do that if a melee unit can also be used instead of, you know, a welder? Therefore, I think he's D tier, but he's not garbage though. He's pretty garbage to me, but I don't think he's like a completely unusable unit though. Next is Carlos. Average. My opinion changed on him. Especially after since they're very range units in my opinion. He's average because like, you know, I think he's like a B plus though. Don't get me wrong. He's definitely not as average as these other units, but I think he's just like A minus. Or B plus. I don't think he's like A tier good, because like, yeah, his that overall damage is pretty good, but like I do, and like his double guns that only cost 20 for courage. It's insanely good, but I don't think and like there are units like, you know, Sonya, or you know, or just other units like Lester. I don't think he holds up to that anymore. Therefore, I put him as the slow, but you know what? I still use him most of the time because he's still very good unit. Yeah. Okay, next one is Guard. To me, Guard is pretty C plus B minus tier to me. The thing about Guard is that his good unit is quick, bullet resistance, overall high damage and pretty high damage and health. But the thing is, I don't know why I would never use it. Like my other range units are so slow. Why are you charging in yourself like chill? Also, it costs 30 just if you spawn them. It's so expensive. Like I'm basically sacrificing like 2 units just for using once. Like I can use a mechanic and a private just for him. No, it's not. I don't think it's worth it for that reason. Like, he's a good unit. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think he's worth 30 just to even spawn. So yeah. Next is Medic. I still think she needs more of a buff. She is a good unit. Don't get me wrong. Like, come on. But the thing for me is that she's not really still not really strong. Her damage, like let's say the young upgrade is still 4. It's still similar to Pepper, but she costs 35 to even use. Like wow, that's expensive. Like the only thing different for Pepper to her is that I'm pretty sure, like it's just legit just the Medkit. That's all. Because someone's Medkit and poison resistance, but like I don't really need poison resistance for her when she's so weak. Like I can legit use other units instead. Like I don't need to use her. She is a good support unit, but I still prefer just using Medkit over her though. I feel like I have more control for that, while instead of just wasting 35 just on this unit. Like bruh. Next one is Flamethrower. To me, it's a good unit. No, it's not. I'm sorry. It's a B. It's like B minus. I know. Not C plus. It's a C plus unit. It's not good at all. Like it's a very good unit since you know this does fire damage. But the thing is, I remember the same problem as Red Barrel though. The fire can be put out by the rain, and not to mention his low health pool. Like why is he so low on health? Like you're wearing that cool armor, man. Like why you still so weak, man? Like bruh. So yeah, I don't think I don't think any expansion on him. He's just weak. It's a soldier. I'll say it's B tier, but you know what? He's like or A minus though for me. He's a strong buff, very buff unit that can definitely tank a lot of hits, and his baton is does average damage for me, but I just don't think he's that versatile, because like like other units, like you know, like the other TMF units, he's just so expensive, like bruh. But I do think he's a good unit, don't get me wrong, but I just think he's so expensive though. That's the only reason I rank him so low. But he's still a very good unit and definitely should be used if you don't have anything else. Cap to me is B minus tier. I'll rank it lower than Soldier for the reason of he's a good support. It's like a support. It's a good support unit again. It is a support unit. I just don't think he's really that good, because all he does is really just, you know, support. Like it's good because like it gives like buffs to other units, but like why do you need it though? Like there are other units that can also be used. I don't think really support is really that important to the game yet. Yet, okay, I say yet. The game may change in the future, and maybe the cap will be pretty good. So yeah, I don't think cap is really that strong right now. But I really think I don't think he's weak at all. Though. Like his turret is S tier. To me, turret is very important in most of the levels. Like damage it does is the damage output is just insane, and not to mention like it only takes damage after like each reloading or getting hit by zombies, and that mostly wouldn't happen unless you're facing a level with bullet resistance, and that time you should probably not even use turrets. Like why do you think units that shoots bullets when there are bullet resistance enemies? Like why are you doing that? So yeah, turret to me is very good. Sonya is next. I think it's pretty similar to Carlos. I rank it higher than Carlos because she does have higher damage than Carlos, but the thing is a burst gun. She's in a burst gun. I think Carlos overall is pretty good compared to Sonya for the reason of like he shoots longer, and therefore like if there's like a horde of zombies, he can deal with it while Sonya is reloading, and while Sonya is already reloaded. Therefore, I think Carlos and Sonya can be swapped any times. Okay, next one is Ranger. For me, Ranger is pretty good. Like, why is he so good though? Like, using the shotgun and have bullet resistance armor? Like, that's just insane. Like, for what he does is insane. Like, bruh. Like, he's just very strong. But the only problem I see is his expensive courage cost though. It costs 30, and therefore I think if you even use him, I think a generator is kind of needed for most of the levels when you're using him. But he's strong, he's very strong, so I think he's pretty worth it for 30 courage compared to units like Chopper. Next is interesting one, Willy. Willy to me, I don't know how to rank him. He can be like S tier good or even C tier good. Like I'll rank him at A tier though. I think his stun gun is very useful and his shield is pretty. It basically saves his life a lot. Like not to mention his bulletproof suit, man. Like it's just insane. He can basically take the damage of like the electric zombie and still live because of his shield. It's just so good. Yeah, very like it can be utilized in a lot of ways, and therefore I think it is at A tier. Swat to me is C minus tier. I use Flamethrower more than Swat for a big reason of at least he hits his shots. Like bruh, like, why is Swat just missing all his stupid shots? Like why is he doing, man? Is he even trying to kill the zombies? I feel like he's not trying to do it. So yeah, that's why I recommend C tier. Like, what is he doing? But he does have poison resistance, which is good for against slobs and stuff like that. This is why I still put him at C tier because he's still kinda usable. But I just think he needs a buff, like at least buff for like campaign levels. Man, it's just so weak. Light Soldier, D plus unit though. D plus or C minus units again. Similar to SWAT, I think the problem is, but instead of the problem for Light Soldier is that his expensive courage cost is not really worth. Like okay, his courage is 30. I don't think I don't think his stats is good for 30. Don't get me wrong, he has poison resistance and bullet resistance, but I just don't think he's really that good. At that time, I would rather use units like Grenade. And for units against slobs, then I would rather use units like Soldier, or just spam a lot of units and just burn the corpse with fire barrels, red barrels. So yeah, I don't think Light Soldier is really that strong. But I just want to say is that I ranked him D plus. Remember I said D plus. Therefore, I think he can still be used a lot. It's just that I don't think he's really that good compared to other units. Next one, okay. So yeah. Next one is Carol. Carol for me. Why is it not skirmish those skirmish ones, man? Like, not infinite range is already a bad thing for her. Her dash is just very overpowered. It's only good because of her insane range for like skirmish. Not to mention, like if she doesn't kill, she's like unit. She's basically dead. She's like mechanic, but just weaker and not as useful in my opinion. And not to mention, she got 5 more, man. And why does she even need a headphone? Like, why is it even for? Like, unless there's a zombie which like screams and stuff like that, which does like damage by like breaking eardrums. And I don't really see why the headphones even needed. Like, she's just a unit that's weird to me. I think she's a good unit, but not for campaign levels. Next one is Jailer. To me, Jailer is in a weird spot. He is good because of his stun gun, but the thing is, he can only be obtained by the starter pack, which costs about 5 USD. But like, why does it cost 5 USD? Why does it cost 5 USD though? Like, what's the reason for it? There's legit no reason for it to cost 5 USD. It's just not a good unit because of its price. Like, if you're buying something from a game, you expect for it like a pay to win unit, and you expect something very good, but Jello is not the unit you expect. Like, he still have his flaws a lot. For me, I think if he can still get him for non pay to win methods, then he'll be like a B tier. Like, but if he's done or even a B plus tier, because his stun gun is just pretty useful, like a 9. But because you only get him for 5 USD, like approximately 5 USD, he's just bad, man. I'm sorry. Next one is Saw. To me, Saw, aka this guy with chainsaw, Queen, the one with grenade launcher, and Berserker with stupid 2 cleavers. It's just there's a thing I just don't like about it. Like, it inspires very friendly units, which in my opinion is just very annoying. I don't really want to use it because of that reason. And for Saw, and there's also a big reason why Saw is the worst one in my opinion, he rolls backwards and turns into a monk when he dies. Like he kind of burns his corpse. Like, bruh, you could just turn into a monk and kill us now. Like, bruh, this is just an annoying unit. It's a good unit, but I'm sorry because of the monk turning out. I can't even put it just C tier. I'm sorry. Queen C tier. Grenade launcher is pretty good, but like, what is grenade? Why I really use grenade here though. Like, why do I even use Queen? And for Berserker, I don't know. It's pretty good, but to me the cleavers doesn't make up for how overall like inspiring feels into other units, because like it's hard to spam him anymore though. Yeah. Next one is Lester. To me, Lester is I'll put him here A or B tier. But let me just say why it will be A or B tier first. First of all, Lester is basically just like a buffed a farmer. He have hard damage, and I mean he have the same courage cost, and therefore I think he should at least deserve a 6 plus like farmer. And I mean, I do prefer him more than Farmer for the better stats, but the thing about Lester is I like Pharmacy side more. Sorry, Lester. So, but for me, Lester definitely deserves an A tier because it's not bad unit at all. I just think it's a pretty underrated unit also, though. So yeah, Specops. Hard to rank. Like, if Specops is like a melee unit, then I would put it like an A tier. But because it's range unit, which means it doesn't damage barriers, like, why do I need to put my range unit in, like, into a very front area? Like, it doesn't break a barrier, it doesn't do it. That's like action. So like, why is it putting him? Why is putting him in for so front? Even used for like all he does is he's supposed to be a range unit. He's supposed to be like supporting melee units. You don't need him so fronted. But he's still useful because he have like you can deploy him anywhere in the arena, quick fire rate, and of course he poison resistance and he doesn't turn this when he dies. So, you know, that's just very useful. That's why I put him in average tier. But because, like Swat though, he can definitely be C tier because why does the unit just never hit the shots? Like I know it's just to balance the assault rifles or you know just machine guns in this game, but bro, that's just making the unit so much worse. So it's just so annoying to use it. Okay, next one is Austin. For me, C tier. The thing about Austin is that it's like Pepper, but the thing is he gives you coins. That's all. That's all there is. Because 30 rage is just expensive. I don't see why you should ever use it unless you're grinding coins with him. Unless you're grinding coins, which then it would be S tier because bruh, he grinds coins very quickly, and it's like mostly like he just like guarantees you get a lot of coins. But basically unless you're grinding coins, he's C tier man. He's not worth his price. Next one is agents. Like at the same time you can spawn 2 units and you know it's relatively cheap because it costs 20 courage, which means each agent costs 10. But to me, agents is average. It's pretty average to worse units. I'll put it at C tier because like I think Glenn and Charlotte is better than, or even Empty Barrel is better than. The thing about it is that like this is pretty expensive, but I mean I get it as range units, but like it's meant to be like taking out the early game units, but I don't think it does the job best. Like I would rather use units like Private, Watcher Grids, or you know Mechanic to take out the first few units. I don't need to use agents because it's just not. I don't think it's not as versatile as those units. It's not as strong as them. Like I can't say they're weaker than them because some situations they are definitely better. But they're just nowhere near like, oh, we're the best at killing the early zombies, therefore use those units. So yeah, this is why I don't think it's a B tier. Since I don't think that I don't think they do the job well. So yeah, next is Turbo. Is B minus or C plus? You know, I'll put a C plus. Therefore, sales C tier. Turbo is that for me, Turbo is very strong and like bulletproof. Like what is that? Like she's not even wearing any shirts. Like what is she hiding? Like what is it? Like her skin is like bulletproof for no reason. Like okay, let's just see. Units with heavily armored still takes a little bit of damage from range. But how about Turbo? Like, is she does not take any damage? Like, what's the logic of that? First of all, she have no logic, and number two, her swinging is just insane. Like, what? Well, why does it take so long for her to be in charge of her bat? Like, bruh. I mean, she does push the enemies back, and I think it's good for like units. I mean, for enemies that are slow, but I just don't think she is really as strong as other units. Therefore, I think she's C tier. But I did say she is C plus because she does push enemies back, and I think that's pretty useful on some of the enemies. Therefore, I think C plus and B or B minus. She's not a bad unit, and don't get me wrong, all the units at S to C is not bad units at all. The only bad units I'm saying are in D. And you know what? For Light Soldier, it's not really that bad. It's just that I don't think he's really that useful anymore. This is why he's at D. But he's not garbage tier. Actually, none of this is garbage because he can still be used and you can still win games with it. So the next one is Red Hood. Don't get me wrong, I just don't think he's good, man. He's literally a Christmas limited like unit, but for wrong reasons, man. What better is him? He's like wearing a gas mask, but like he still takes poison damage. Like what? Why? Why does he still take poison damage? This is so dumb. Like because of that reason, that's why I still prefer using Chopper over him, because Chopper at least can still heal if he, let's say he managed to kill the zombie, then he can still heal himself. At least he's still a viable option to use. So, but like, what is he used for though? Like, what this is nothing special for him to me. So that's why I think he's D tier. Nazi is Cashier. A tier. Cashier is a relative, my opinion, high stats AK on his health and damage for his courage cost of 20. That's just insane. Like, not to mention for his special, his critical does quadruple the base damage. Like, that's just wow. That's just a lot of damage for a fighter unit. Like, that's why I put Cashier at A tier. But I still prefer mechanic. So yeah. So this is the end of this video. This is my list, guys. Mechanic, Policeman Diaz, Grenadier, and Tourist deserve to be S tier in my opinion. Of course, they still have their own flaws, but I still think that other S tier units can kind of like protect them from the other flaws. This is why they're S tier. A tiers are also some of the must use units. Like, if you don't have the A tier units, the S tier units are basically not S tier also, because like they can still without A tier units, they're just units there which can be also classified as B tier. Therefore, I think S and A are very important to each other. For B tier units, I think they are important units. I mean, they can also not be used and be used at the same time. Actually, the whole list here, all of them in the S to B tier, it can definitely just not be used, and D tier can also be used. It just doesn't matter because everyone have different playstyle, and that's the most important thing to me in this game. Because everyone has different playstyles, therefore tier list it's not really the same, because everyone ranks units differently. Like, I can rank people can rank like Chopper or Red Hood in the S tier because why? They're good at using it, or they just found a way to use it efficiently. But because I don't, and therefore I put in D tier. So I think that every playstyle is different, and therefore this tier list may be very different from yours. So before seeing this, before just learning from my tier list, or just seeing this tier list, I think that the very important thing is that you should try making your own tier list, or just play the game yourself to get experience first before following tier lists like this one. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If this video helps you on deciding what units you're using, I'm glad that it helps you. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos similar to this. And yeah, guys, remember, hit the bell for notifications. I actually don't need to do that, but hey, it's better not doing it, right? Because you'll be notified for new videos. So yeah, guys, see ya everyone. I really just hope this video helps you. See ya.